Hello, people. It is me. Just play it. Now, I know what you guys thinking when you see title of this video that we're gonna talk about the House of Final Fantasy VII. Now, I know this has been out for quite some years, and I have knew about it for a while, but I decided to dive a little deep into it for a couple of days. I've been watching videos, reading things about it, but apparently the whole House of Final Fantasy sounded like it was a madhouse. Like it was crazy. Now, people in this House of Final Fantasy, we're gonna say, first of all, let's start with the character Zack. He is basically our main protagonist in this story. But I'm gonna say, if you people haven't searched this, look it up. I mean, it's all over YouTube. It's everywhere. You can find it. But I want to tell you what I think of this madness. But so Zack, he he was a guy who loved the game. He was a college student at the time. We're talking PS1 version, people. So yeah. So yeah, PS1 version of the game. And I get it. Final Fantasy VII during that time period was huge. It was basically the number one PS1 game. It basically introduced the world to JRPGs back in the day. Anyway, we all know that. But these people came together at I guess college, college dorm or dorm apartment. Just say that. So yeah. So anyway, Zack, made a website. Back when the internet was, I guess, slow or something, because it wasn't. It was like how it was today. I mean, it just wasn't. But anyway, he made this little website, showing his love for the games of Cloud and Zack, and then all of a sudden, one day, he gets this weird, mysterious, I guess, message. This message is from Hojo. Yeah, okay, we all know who Hojo is from Final Fantasy VII. If you don't know, he's a creepy man with a lab coat. He basically done experiments on, he done experiments on Vincent. He read 13. Tried to do experiments on Aerith. Okay, we all know that. The Final Fantasy people, they know this. But anyway, so Zack, talks to Hojo. And, they talk, Then one day Zack posts like a little story he wrote. And then Hojo messaged him back and said, "Oh, is this a memory? Is this something you remember?" Zack's probably not thinking nothing about this. He just said, "Oh, just something I thought of back in the day or something." And, Hojo, I think he was a little disappointed. But until doing this message, Zach, he met Hojo's wife. And who was his wife? Of all people? Genova. And apparently, people, Genova was batshit crazy. That's right. She was batshit crazy. Now, and I think her real name was Jen. Yeah, but we're not gonna call her by her real name. We're gonna just call her Genova in this case. But Genova was crazy. She started talking to Zach about magic and all this other stuff. And Zach decided, being I guess is, curious, let's just say that, decided to go spend the holidays with them in Pennsylvania at their house. So Zach takes the bus, goes there. I think he spent $300 or something to get there. I think, yeah, but anyway, because apparently Zach lived in New York, he lived in Brooklyn. But anyway, so Zach arrives there, meets Genova at the train station. And not Genova, he meets Hojo at the train station. And Hojo is basically wearing the lab coat and everything. I mean, they're doing it all. I mean, they're cosplaying the shit out of this. And I can just imagine what people would think. You're seeing this woman, because Genova is a girl. I mean, Hojo is a girl. In this case, I know this is kind of weird, but you're at a train station and you're seeing a girl dressed up like in a lab coat, pretending to be Hojo from Final Fantasy. It's weird, and unless it's Halloween or either you're cosplaying it at some kind of event or something. But yeah, it's just my opinion. But anyway, back to the story, people. So Hojo meets Zach, and they go to the house, and he meets Genova, and she, like I said, is batshit crazy, because apparently she's wearing this purple, smelly, I heard it was gross and stinking according to what people were saying, outfit. And she kept that on the whole entire time Zach was there, which I found very weird and creepy. Because apparently they did not bathe. The house stunk like shit. Apparently they don't clean. So, yeah, if that was me, I wouldn't have never went there. I don't care if you do love the game or whatever. That's what I would have done if I was in Zach's position. But apparently, anyway, Zach went there. But anyway, Zach's hanging out with them. Another thing that got me about the story is when they went out to the mall, right? Genova would see things what she would want to buy. And apparently, they didn't buy it for her. So she starts pitching a fit, apparently like a child. Because apparently she got two different personalities and shit. I mean, she's basically schizophrenic. Apparently. And that's another thing, people, about this whole thing I picked up. And, it was, and so she pitched her fit like a baby, and then they went home. And, I think it really got me is when Genova was using these cards to tell you your fortune, tarot cards and shit, and apparently they had glitter and shit all over the house too. So she believed that she was doing some kind of magic, and she basically believed all this shit was real. I mean, it's, as a Final Fantasy fan for me, I see this and I'm like, what in the world? It's like you can't tell the difference between fiction and reality. It's like, it's weird. People, you got to, it's not real. But in her mind, the world of Final Fantasy VII, happened for real. So, Genova is also getting other people who she's getting other people who she found. A lot of other people. Like, you name it. She gets Vincent, she gets Sephiroth, she gets Aerith. She gets a lot of people. Red 13, she gets him. A guy. You think he's Red 13. And apparently she takes on Aerith to be her apprentice. So yeah, we all know Genova doesn't take Aerith as an apprentice in the game, but she's basically got Aerith and she's like putting her through these trials and shit. She's like got her in a bathtub with some green color water and ice on it, and Aerith has to sit in it, and it's for her to awaken her magic abilities. It's crazy. So, and I really feel bad for Zack, since when you hear this, Zack is doing everything. He's doing everything in the house, the washing dishes, the moving furniture, trying to keep the place afloat, and and also he's working at that little grocery store, and when he gets paid, Genova takes the money, and he's forced to cook and have steaks every night. And apparently he can't eat like red meat because I think he's allergic or something. But he's eating that and he gets sick. And apparently he's throwing up too. But Genova doesn't give a shit. She's, doing shit. And she wakes him up in the middle of the night, like at 3 a.m. or something, comes in his room and tells him he has to go find these magical halos or some shit, and they go out into the woods outside, and I guess it's freezing cold because they're in Pennsylvania, and it's not really good. how she treats him, and she treats him horribly. And Hojo at this time is being crazy as well, I guess, since those two are lovers after all. And apparently, Genova is just, as in Jen, she's a very sick, twisted person because she has all this evil shit going on through her head. And I can just imagine how that dirty, smelly house, well, dorm, or I guess apartment, must have been like. Because it's just horrible when you see the pictures on the internet, and it's really mind-blowing that people live like this. And, yeah. And Aerith, she's just losing her marbles right now. She's going crazy since she catch falls. Her and Jen, aka Genova, they fall out. Like they get into it, and so she ends up leaving the house apparently. And by this point, Zach is ignoring her, and yeah, it's a crazy tale. That's all I can say about the House of Final Fantasy right now. It's interesting, but you'll see if you guys watch these videos and read it. But yeah, in Genova, apparently, what I heard, like, she's just, I believe she's still out there doing this. She's doing this cult thing. You know, it's crazy to think about that this all happens like 2002, or yeah, 2002, 2005 era. And it's just like weird to me to, when I seen these videos and watched and read all this stuff about it, and it's just like, wow. And it's like, people really, well, in her case, Genova and Hojo, really believed that Final Fantasy VII happened for real. And of course, we all know it's just a video game. It's not real. But to them, it was like their second lives. But anyway, Zack ends up getting mad. He ends up leaving the house because apparently his shoes was missing, and he just became homeless for like 3 days. And then apparently, he decided to go live with, first get in contact with Sid somehow, since Sid was still close with Genova, but Sid helped him get some of his stuff back. Apparently, so yeah, Sid helps him get his stuff back and helps him get contact with his father, and then Zach ends up going back to Brooklyn. And apparently, after Zach gets back to Brooklyn, and this is like a while, he starts this site and he's warning people about Hojo and Genova. And of course, Hojo and Genova, when Zach was living there, they did get another apartment. And the way he described it, it was messed up. Very messed up. And this just proves, that you can be a fan and love something like Final Fantasy. You don't have to actually become it like these people were. And so, I guess what I'm trying to say, people, just love the game. Love the story. Love that and the characters in the game. Don't become them. Because remember, they're fiction. They're not real. So yeah. But hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on the Final Fantasy VII house. And if you guys want, I will make more videos about stuff like this, because I know I done a couple of videos of me talking about X-Play and Frost and all that, and I will do more videos like this in the future. But in the meanwhile, I just want to say thank you guys for subscribing to my channel, watching my videos, and showing us love over here at Just Play It. So we appreciate that. And yeah, that's all I have to say for now. And yeah, remember guys, all this stuff is on the internet. If you wanna, and there's some videos on YouTube if you wanna watch this stuff about the House of Final Fantasy. You might find more stuff, more stuff I couldn't dig up. So yeah, or just remember, this stuff is dark, and I sorta kinda gave you the lighter version of it. So yeah. Well, anyway, thanks you guys for watching and subscribing. It means a whole lot. And yeah, I'm gone now. Bye.